Hello, hello, hello again. Thank you for joining me. I'm Doug, blessed to have you here. It is day 10 of 21 days of yoga. You have been slaying it so far, and we're going to continue to build on that strong core that we've already started to lay the foundation the last few sessions. So when you're ready, I'll meet you on your mat in just a moment. So today we will start in an embryo pose, drawing our legs together, opening up across our lower back. Gently, take your time, stack your hips over your heels. Nice big breath into the front of your shins, your front feet, your front ankle bones. And as you release, walk yourself down, forehead to meet your mat. Gently extend your fingertips back, bend your elbows, soften your shoulder heads forward. Take a full breath in. And as you breathe out, let your energy from your upper shoulders, your armpits, travel down towards your hips. Breath in, filling it up. And once again, letting that energy from your shoulders, your armpits travel down towards your hips. Take that one more time. Big breath in. Big breath out. On your inhale, let's crawl ourselves forward into our tabletop. As we rise into our tabletop today, take your moment. Walk those knees out a little wider than your hips. Let yourself find that space and then draw big, delicious circles on the ground with your heart. And as you're traveling through, shift your weight over into those edges of your hips, your side bodies, and then drop your tailbone down, sweep over to the other side. As you track from one side over to the other, let that grip of your fingertips, your pinkies, the knife edges of your hands really grow into your mat. We're here for the next 3. Just kind of cycling through. Here for 2. Kind of melting in. Good job. Final 1. As you send your energy all the way around and out and about, drop your hips down, take it 2 times in the other direction. And on this one, start to articulate a little bit deeper into your body. Activate those smaller supporting muscles, maybe even focusing on your transverse abdominal and that growth of strength all the way through your belly. Land back into your tabletop. Bring those knees of yours underneath your hips. Spread your fingertips nice and wide. And let's take a nice strong cow and cat. And on this cow, energize your heart through your biceps. Good. Exhale, cat your spine. On this, tuck that tailbone down. Draw your belly button deep into your center core, all the way into your sky. 3 more on your own. Opening up, letting those abdominals expand, find space, but also support. Exhale, cat your back. Drawing those upper core muscles deep, deep down into that center well. 2 more times, breath in. Bend your elbows, maybe finding a little bit more rotation across your shoulders. That way you can access those very, very last bits of your trunk, those wrapping muscles right underneath your pectorals, draping just behind your shoulder blades. Last exhale, cat. Good job. Inhale, slowly tabletop position. Take your time, extend your shoulders down towards your hips. Feel that power as it rolls from your shoulders down your side bodies in this long kinetic chain, out through your hips to your tailbone. We're going to continue that strength as we tuck our toes, downward facing dog. Send your hips up and back, pedal out your legs. Fantastic, we're here for 3. As you're pedaling out your legs, you're just sweeping your side bodies, finding that space, that room. Last 2. Left foot's gonna stay grounded. We're gonna find a 3-legged dog. Right leg reaches up and back. Flex your toes, square your hips, anchor into your hands. Chin softens a little bit towards your heart. And then you can stay here in this 3-legged dog for the next count of 10. Just unifying your right shoulder to your right hip, amplifying your belly button into spine. If you'd like to go a little bit further, as you breathe out, you can bring your right knee to tap your right tricep as you hinge your shoulders over your wrists. Inhale, right leg high. We're here for the last 8. And you can go at your pace. It doesn't matter if you get 8 or 7 or 6. It's just you finding that strength. 5. 4. Be in that 3-legged dog, just building that connection. Or maybe you draw that knee in. Last one. Take a breath in. Right leg reaches back and out even further than prior. Exhale with control. Release your right foot down. Once your right toes touch your mat, pedal out your legs. Take that second. Notice the changes. Appreciate the connection, the strength of the right side body, and love that left as it gets ready for its energy. Right heel down, inhale, left leg high, flex your toes. And just like on the other side, you can stay in this 3-legged dog, really finding that balance. If you want to activate your core, on your next breath in, lift up a little bit taller. Exhale, left knee travels towards your left tricep. We're just finding that rhythm that feels comfortable for you. Inhale when you're ready. Exhale, you can bring that knee in. Inhale to extend. Exhale to invite that knee in. We're here last 5. 4. This is also warming up the back hamstrings, the back calf, last 2. Control this from every ounce of your body. You're not flinging your limbs. You're choosing their path. Last breath in, left leg high. Ooh. Exhale, release your left hand, left foot down, right hand to your mat, pedal out those legs. Good job. Big breath in, lift your hips, lift your heels. As you exhale, release your hips and heels down to your mat. Let's gaze to the top of our earth. Tiptoe your feet to meet your wrist. Take your time. When you get to the very top of your mat, bend your knees, chin into your chest. We've been in this forward fold or in an inversion for a while. So as you inhale, slowly, roll up. Notice your equilibrium coming back into your body. As you stack your shoulders up and over your wrists, over your hips, I should say, over your ankles. Exhale, roll your shoulders down your back. Take a moment. Maybe seal your lips. Find your center. Perhaps one hand finds your belly, the other lovingly discovers your heart. Nice full inhale in. And as you ujjayi exhale, you strengthen but you're not hardened. You're not stone. You're just empowered. One more breath in. As you exhale, release your arms down by your side. Slowly blink open your eyes. We can keep our feet hip width distance apart. Depending on how much stretch you want to find, how much balance you want to play with, your feet variation is going to be very large. So big toes together obviously means a little bit more balance. You're still going to be able to find a lot of flexibility in your hips because that's what we're going to explore today. If you want to go even further out, give yourself a nice wide base. The options are yours. We're going to flow through these a few times so that way you can kind of try and find your stretch. I'm going to go feet hip width distance apart just so you can really notice. So before we lift our arms up, square your pelvic bone and draw that tailbone of yours deep down so you can feel that strength, almost as if you're kind of crunching a little bit right in that front pelvic bone. Yeah. And now inhale, lift up, arms are going to rise. And as you're lifting up here and that tailbone of yours is floating straight to your earth, there's that natural opposite direction. So your heart is actually expanding towards your sky. And that's giving that long line of kinetic energy. Take one more breath in. Carefully reach over, grab for your left wrist. And as you exhale, shift your left hip over to the left wall and just start to feel your center of gravity moving over and over more towards the knife edge of your left foot. Take that stretch. What naturally wants to happen here is we're just going to crumble and fall into this right side, but fight that urge and inhale, create that urge. So as you lift up, you're feeling that little extra connection here in that side body. And that connection, the same connection you found when you're extending out through that leg. So right shoulder down to your right hip. Take one more breath in. Good. Hold for your exhale. With control, inhale, rise it back up. Fingertips reach towards your sky. This time we're gonna grab our right wrist, and as you exhale, slowly shift your center of gravity over to the right. You'll notice the knife edge of your right foot digging deeper in. Grip with that big toe of your right foot. Inhale, lift up and out. Carve through that right side. Carve through that left under rib. Yes. So again, we're not dumping here unless you're really finding that access. I want to feel more of a stretch in that big arch than little. Last, you can start to look up. Remind yourself your heart is extending out because your tailbone again, tucking down. Take one breath in. Hold for the exhale. Inhale, reach it up. We're gonna keep that tailbone super engaged. Bend your elbows, cactus your arms, and just open up that heart. As you relax from your earlobes, the top of your ears, down the sides of your necks, through your upper shoulders. Bend those elbows, let them float even lower than your shoulders. So you're pulling that stretch into your upper chest. Shift your hips forward. Stay here for just 2 more breaths. As we're breathing, and we'll breathe in here into our belly, and we're lifting out. We're not dumping down, even on the exhale. The exhale is just a shrug of tension away. 1 more breath in, smile a little bit, that always helps. As you exhale, relax. Inhale, rise it back up, big breath in. Exhale, hand comes to heart center. Close your eyes for a moment. And just as your thumbs land on your sternum, notice that pulse, that rhythm, that beat, that drum that is you. And the vibration, the sound, the strength that just pours out. 1 more full breath in. As you let it go, exhale, release your arms down by your side. Blink open your eye. So we'll add on just a little bit of that vinyasa that we played with on Saturday on our day 6. So feel free to walk your feet in if you'd like, or walk your feet out. We'll have the opportunity to explore both options. I'm gonna go for the feet in to play with balance. On your inhale, arms to rise up. We're gonna create that breath and body connection. Right hand, grasp lovingly around your left wrist, and as you exhale, track your left wrist over to the right. Big stretch, still a ton of support so that you can stretch into that. Inhale, rise up, switch out and over. Grab onto your right wrist, track it to your left, big stretch. And again, we're supporting through that trunk for 2. On 1 big breath in, lift it up. As you exhale, bend your elbows, cactus your arms, tuck your tailbone, roll your shoulders down. You're just letting yourself release. You're not rushing towards the end. You're certainly not running towards the start as you build back up mountain pose. Exhale, hands come to heart center. So you can keep with this foundation or maybe switch it up. It's always fun to kind of play with that different change. If you are sending your legs out wide, listen to your knees, your hips. I personally like having the feet parallel. Flaring them out a little bit will help out if you notice any tension in your lower back. Inhale, arms to reach out and up. Let's once again grab on to our left wrist. As you exhale, use those hips. And on the wider leg variation, you can really take that hip stretch quite broad and sweep it through. Yeah. Inhale, rise back through your center. Find that placement. Grab onto your right wrist, take it up and over to the left. And once again, we're stretching through the right side, down that right rib, right hip. We're getting into that knee, into that ligament, that tendon, that IT band. Inhale, rise it up. We're gonna bend the elbows, cactus the arms. This one you may have to shift the hips out a little bit further because of how your legs are compressed, depending on if you have that wide base. Inhale, rise it back up. You're doing fantastic. Exhale, bend your knees, forward fold, lower it all the way down. Good work. And once you find your forward fold here, chin into your chest, grab for opposite elbows, sway it left and right. And if your feet are wide like mine, this will be easy. If they're narrow, walk them out. We're here for 3. Good. 2. Last big breath in. As you exhale, relax your hands down towards your mat. We're gonna keep those feet nice and wide, but tuck them in a little bit closer so they're a little bit wider than hip width, that's all. Bend your knees, toes are pointing forward. Inhale, Utkatasana chair pose. As you lower into this seat, into this squat. So the biceps flying by your ears, Let those palms reach out. Squeeze your shoulders onto your back and sit into this. And so we're gonna amplify this connection. So as you press your palms down, they're not really gonna move physically, but that energy is gonna trace down the arms and pour into your hips. As you're sitting in there, shift your weight into your heels. Maybe you can pick up all 10 toes while still reaching those fingertips out. We're here for 5. Woo. And activate that core. You're gonna notice that support of your lower back. Last 3. Smile a little bit, makes it everything a little easier. Last 2. Take a big breath in. Exhale, palms are gonna float right by your hips. Press it back, shift your hips forward. As your palms press and find that hip energy, lift your toes. Lift your heels, I say press into your toes and find that stretch. If you want to, you can tuck your tailbone even more. Hips will open up a little bit further. Good. And hold this space, this shape. And if your heels drop and you have to pop back up again, that's okay. Last 2. On 1. Inhale, release your heels, bend your knees, float your arms forward, sit back into that chair pose, continue to strengthen through your core. We're gonna transition through those 2 planes 2 more times. So exhale, press back up, press into the toes, lift the heels, feel that stretch, shoulders can kind of trace back just a tad bit. Inhale, release your heels, bend your knees, lower with strength. Everything's really focused and emanates from that belly button, that Uddha Bandha lock. Exhale, last time to lift up. Press into your toes, float those heels. Find that little balance, tailbone, rooted to your earth. Last time, inhale, Utkatasana. Find your chair, arms reach out. Drop those hips. Squeeze your shoulders under your back. Exhale, hands down to your earth. Step your feet back. Let's find our high plank for a moment. Squeeze your shoulders onto your back. Grip your fingertips firmly to your earth. Hinge it forward. Bend those elbows lower down. And as you find that little mid plank, untuck your toes, upward facing dog. Legs can soften to your mat as long as you're still strong in your core around your side bodies. You want to activate that pelvic bone, your quads. Go ahead and lift your knees for 3, 2. Exhale, relax your knees down. Gentle child's pose. Knees out wide, big toes to touch. Ooh, yeah. And so give yourself a little swivel, a little sweep around that lower back, letting attention go. Doesn't matter how much you practice, there's always gonna be moments where life, natural habit of your own physical body might leak in. And so if you're holding tension in your lower back, and that's just kind of a thing that you do in your normal day-to-day, that'll happen in your practice. And the more we practice, the more you practice, the less it'll happen. On your mat and out of it. Last one. Hold for your exhale. Remind your shoulders, they don't have to hold on to tension to be themselves. Carefully float yourself back up, tabletop. And as you find your tabletop, anchor into your shins. Big breath in, cow through your belly. Exhale, cat your back. 2 more times with gentle examination. Inhale. Take your moment, tuck your toes, downward facing dog. We've got one last little bit of standing, and then what we've done. On your inhale, lift your right leg high, flex your toes. Exhale, step your right leg through low lunge. Carefully step your left foot forward 6 to 8 inches and seal that left heel down. Rise up, beer Bandhasana. So your arms are gonna rise, we can for a moment. We're gonna bring those fingertips right to our hips whenever we feel ready. We're gonna straighten out our front right leg. We're gonna square those hips. So this is gonna be the biggest thing, is if your right hip is far in front of you, so if that front leg is far in front of your back hip, you're gonna find this misbalance. It's gonna be really difficult for you to hold this pose. So square those hips. Take a second. Your tailbone is still gonna run down the back of that left leg into your left heel. Take an inhale, Use that connection from your heel all the way through the crown of your head. Exhale, hinge yourself forward. And just find that place. Square your hips. Fingertips can find your right quad. Keep your hands on your hips. You can always track it as far forward as feels comfortable. Your back, neck isn't crunched, it's nice and long. So that gives you that extra little support. We're just holding here. Squeeze your shoulders back. We're gonna be here for a count of 8. Hands again, can find your shin, can fully support that leg. You can always bend your right leg softly. Take some of that hamstring stretch away. Last 6. 4. 3. 2. Carefully, on 1, inhale, use that strong core, rise up. Bend into your right knee. Virabhadrasana, Warrior 1. As you exhale, carefully frame out your right foot. Step your left leg back. Inhale, right leg high, 3-legged dog. Bend your right knee and then slowly stack your right hip up and over your left for just a second here. Just open up that front hip, open up that right thigh, that right femur head. Take one more breath into it. Exhale, carefully release your right foot down to your mat. Bend your right knee, soften it all the way to your earth. Now roll onto the sole of your left foot, right hand stays grounded, modified side plank. As we lift our left arm towards our sky, our left shoulder stacking up and over our right, just take this moment. And sometimes that left hip will be crept up. Try to kick it down. Feel that connection to your pelvic bone, how that roots your right hip through your right femur, into your right knee, into your mat. One more breath in, good. Exhale, with control, lower your left hand down. This isn't about your left hand falling like a rock, but like a feather. And as it meets your mat, that's when you start to pick up that heel. Good. Step your right foot back, right away downward facing dog. Let's take it to the left side. Inhale your left leg high, flex your toes. Exhale, step your left leg through, low lunge. Walk your right foot forward just as we did before. Seal the knife edge down. Inhale, Virabhadrasana, Warrior 1. Hands find your hips, square your pelvic bone. Take your second. Really find that moment of unification. Sometimes those little ribs want to kind of tickle the front space. Draw them in, straighten your front left leg. Exhale, hinge from those hips of yours. And as you find that balance, that equilibrium, hands can find your earth. As you reach the hands out and add on even more core strength. Wherever you're at, you're here for another 7. Last 3. 2. Carefully, with control, rise back up on it. Ooh. Bend into your left knee, take an inhale. Exhale, release your left hand, right hand to your mat. Extend your left leg back, bend your left knee, and again, scorpion out. And we're just stacking our left hip up and over right. Similar to our modified side plank, we're just up a level, but we still have 3 points of connection. Last 2. On 1, carefully, kick your left heel back, release your left toe, left knee down. Stack your toes up and over your wrist. Step your right foot back. Seal your right foot to your mat. Right hand rises. Just taking this modified side plank. We're just stacking through. Squeeze your shoulder blades together and promote your right ribs over your left for 2. Take one more breath in, and again, right fingertips are like a feather. As you exhale, they flutter down. Control, 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 control. Right hand to your earth, pick up your right heel, step your left leg back, downward facing dog, big inhale in. Exhale, roll it into your tabletop. Cross those ankles. Sit down onto your mat. Whoo! So incredible. Fantastic. We've been just moving and running and growing and strengthening. So feel free to grab a sip of water, get yourself. The last few moments of class are just all about rest. So we're gonna start off taking a forward fold. My suggestion is go with those feet wide out, far apart enough that it feels comfortable in your hips and enough space that you can really drape over your thighs. You're not going for a deep forward fold. If you want to, always an option. But today, you can see there's light energy in my ankles, very little life in the toes. You're just letting those legs be soft. Take a breath in. Exhale, fold yourself forward and just melt down. Letting all of that tension, all that energy that might have been holding on into your lower lumbar, your bottom thoracic spine, let it all go. Gently trace your mind, your third eye down your kinetic chain from the crown of your head to your tailbone. Hold for that exhale. Inhale, carefully roll it up. And as you stack your shoulders up and over your wrist, walk those feet in, shift your hips forward, tuck your tailbone, roll it down all the way to your earth. Woo! We're gonna take one big stretch across our trunk. So give yourself that ease, palms by your side, heels on your mat, back of your head, shoulders, heads firmly grounded. Inhale, lift your hips, bridge pose. And just walk those hands underneath your tailbone, shimmy your triceps onto your mat, press those pinkies into your earth, lift your hips even taller. We're here for 4. 3. 2. Relaxing your arms on one big breath in. Exhale, release your spine, hips to your mat, walk those feet out long. Take one more big breath in, reach and extend through your toes, your fingertips. Exhale, arms fall by your side, palms may be open towards the sky, palms grounded as they face your mat. Breath in to signal a moment just for you. As you exhale, fall into that moment. I will guide you out in just a few. Take a deep breath in when you're ready, finding your inhalation. And on your exhalation, just softly melt some of that tension that might have found itself in your belly, so that electricity that's unnecessary in your hips or your lower back. One more breath in. Invite your knees into your chest, give yourself a nice little squeeze. And then roll on over to your favorite side, building yourself up into your easy seat. Legs crossed, hands at heart center, chin tucked, eyes closed. Yoga allows us to find strength so that we can transform that into flexibility, to find flexibility so that we can move that into strength, so that those two elements can fuse together into grace. As you breathe in, let your grace flow from your heart to your third eye. Stay here for your exhale and just let that grace of yours kind of wash over you. One more big breath in. Exhale, bow forward, seal your moment, your practice. Namaste. Great work. Fantastic so far. We're really getting into that strength and that building of our center body. I'm so excited for tomorrow. I hope you are as well. See you soon. Have a beautiful and lovely rest of your day.